Hi everybody, Tom here from our showroom, and I'm going to show you a big picture of where we are. If you come to Anaheim, we want you to come and check out all these cars. And most of these cars in here are for sale. So the inventory is always changing. Greg runs this whole place. The name of the business is Coast Corvette. And I'm sure you've seen this sign if you're anywhere around Disneyland in Anaheim, California. We are right on the freeway, right across from Disneyland. Beautiful showroom, beautiful, beautiful showroom. So what we're going to talk about today is actually doing some buffing work in the showroom. We're going to talk about the responsibility of, doing something like that and the dangers. So I don't want you to be afraid of using a rotary polisher. Rotary polishing is far, far easier than most people make it up to be. When I grew up in the trade, there was no option. You had these antique tools that really were super heavy, very, very dangerous, and I think everybody relates those archaic tools to what we have today, and what we have today are so much better. This is a rotary polisher. This is our double-sided pad that we're going to use today. You just flip it over, and we're going to talk about this little adapter that you need to buy too if you do switch over to these pads. I'll have a link up there for where you can purchase this adapter. It's about 36 bucks. You cannot use this pad without this adapter. It's very, very neat, totally patented by 3M. So it's a really, really neat adapter. Wool is what we're going to do first on this Corvette here. The hood of this car is a little bit dyed back. So using System 1, we're going to systematically remove the dullness and then take the wool pad mark out with the red foam pad, and we're going to be doing it all in a super, super clean showroom. The philosophy of polishing paint. When anybody ever came into my shop to work, and we worked on exotic cars, for almost 30 years I had that body shop, and that's primarily what we worked on. They were important to our customers. And the one thing that I had to understand from the employees that worked there, does your work matter? And if I ever determined that it didn't for them, they were gone. This stuff matters. Let me share with you one thing that's really important to me as an expert in this trade is paint film. This simulates the clear coat on all of these cars in the showroom. The 60s, the Cobra, all different years of Corvettes, the 56 pickup. All of these cars matter, and all of these cars have a clear coat. If you have a new car and you're interested in polishing, your car has a clear coat. And this clear coat is limited in mil thickness. This is 2 mils. This plastic bag is 2 mils. A new car has a maximum of 2 mils. That's all the clear that you have. That's all the protection you have. So when you start to polish, be careful. And I think that's why most people get so petrified on using a rotary. But if you have oxidation, which tool is going to take the oxidation off faster? A DA or a rotary? And it's going to be a rotary by far. Don't listen to anybody. They can't back it up. If they say DA, they're inexperienced. You're not going to be able to remove oxidation faster with a DA. Now here's where the problem comes. And this is the philosophy that created single product polishing. If you're speaking to a polish company, polish compound company, and they see our success, and they all have copied what we started with System 1. They have their version, and some of them are pretty good. But as far as what I see right now, they also have a compound. And this is where it becomes a problem. If you're pushing single product polishing, and you have something that competes with System 1 or CSI, then we are already at the top limit of how much paint we can remove safely. We cannot go any further unless the technology changes, and it has over the years, and that's why we have come out now with XX. It's still safe, it's very, very fast, but it's not compound. And we say get rid of all compound, because when you're only dealing with 2 mils, you are going to burn through if you're using the wrong philosophy. If you're using a really gravelly product to try and compete with a Rotary with a DA, you're pushing that gravel into this paint, causing massive scratches to happen that need to come out now. The car didn't have those scratches in it, but you put those scratches in with that gravelly compound. And that's where the philosophy is totally 100% wrong. I hope somebody will take us up, podcast this, and I think it would be entertaining, because I think most of the people out there that are selling compound don't know the damage that they are doing to this paint. We have an 80-page document written with an AFM scan, a 3-story high microscope from Cal Poly Pomona, proving that we are the safest way to polish paint. If you increase the cutting over what we're saying, chances are you're going to ruin all UV inhibitors on this paint job, and it's going to fall off your car. So, I know I sound like a preacher standing on a soapbox talking about heaven and hell. Well, there's a reason why I'm doing that, because I lived this and I saw the effects of compound on a painted surface. So I say, don't do it. You don't need to do it. We're going to safely remove this oxidation with a rotary polisher and our finest, least aggressive product on the market, which is System 1. Very, very easy to use in here in the showroom, and we'll be able to easily take off any oxidation and bring the shine up so it looks beautiful again, and have a surface that's going to last for a long, long time. So stay tuned. Next video, we're actually going to dig into the polishing on this Corvette. So let's talk about what we're doing again. This is our double-sided pad. Wool on this side to remove the oxidation, foam on this side to remove the wool pad scratches. That's the reason why we have that dual pad. This is the adapter, very important. You can't use this pad without the adapter. And we'll put the link in there for, this product. And then you've got a rotary polisher. This one's a battery powered. You don't have to use a battery powered, but I like it because we can walk into the showroom here and use a tool like this without dragging a cord all over this front end. So the pad is attached properly to the buffer. This is System 1 polish. It's a very mild product, but when using it with a wool pad, it's capable of removing this light oxidation. Apply this product right to the center of the pad. It's really, really creamy, really nice. Hold the pad down flat at first. That way it works into the surface of the wool. And then about 1500 RPM, holding it flat or at a slight angle, moving to this side. You don't really want to move it on this side because you're going to be cutting into the hood. So always, I call it buffing off the surface. Buffing off that surface. No dust. Product distributes really easy. You're easily able to get into all the nooks and crannies. Go over it a couple times. You'll see the gloss really start to pick up here. Zero dust. You don't want any dust in a showroom like this. Now, flip over the pad. Put a little bit of product. There's a little bit of product on there, so you don't really have to put much. And there's no reason to take off that product. There's not going to be any cross-contamination because you're only using one product. Couple drops. Slow down your speed a little bit. Once you go over it one time, you want to get down to about 800 RPM. The slower and flatter the foam, the better. Just a slight amount of residue on the surface. Clean microfiber towel, and we wipe that off. Absolutely swirl free, and it removed the oxidation in that area. Replicate all over the hood, and you're all done. And we didn't use any compound to take off the oxidation. I hope this answers the question on DA polishing for oxidation removal compared to a rotary. And we say rotary is going to be your best way to go for oxidation removal. And we're going to do a video with a DA on where that's applicable. But when you're doing something as serious as oxidation removal, always use a rotary with System 1 and now these super slick double-sided pads. Thanks everybody. Tom out.